All right, hello, and welcome to episode 1 of Back to the Barbell. Yep, it's a new series. I've decided to return to barbell lifts after roughly 2 months off. It's been very hard to stay away because most of my training has been barbell based, specifically squat, bench, and deadlift for pretty much as long as I can remember. And I'm really excited here, but I'm easing into it. As you can see, I have a paused sumo deadlift, and I'm using an Ohio power bar, so a stiff bar as opposed to a Texas deadlift bar, a little whippier. I'm doing all of this to limit the load and the amount of fatigue I generate. It feels really good to be back to deadlifting though. I have a lot of work to do on my sumo, so this will give me some time to figure it out. And then for bench, I'm doing a very close grip. I have the inside of my hands on the knurling, the start of the knurling. Still Ohio power bar. I'll be using that for all of my lifts right now. And I'm trying to keep my elbows tucked and really limit my chest involvement on these and make them far away from my comp bench. I have a lot of work to do as far as like where to touch, how much to, retract my shoulders and things like that. This technique is super new for me, but again, it's something that I'm trying to do to lower the fatigue starting out. And then I have a high bar tempo pause squat. So I'm trying to do a 3-second descent here, a 2-second pause, and then just normal cadence on the way up. I can't count on these. I think on this set I do 6. Last week I did 4. I was just kind of learning the movements last week. So here's rep 3. And if I remember right, I overshoot. So this is good, like be able to get 6 reps at 185 pounds. I'm a lot stronger than I was when I was down at about 135 to 140 pounds. I'm up closer to 150 now. So I'll be able to hopefully push my numbers a lot this block. But everything feels okay here. I just need to work on my bracing. As you can see, I'm still keeping my chest up quite a bit from when I was doing high bar squats for hypertrophy. It's just hard to get out of those habits. I'm gonna have to be a little more ribs down and be okay with more of a forward lean even though it's high bar. And then I have lat prayers as my first back movement. When I was talking about the name of the series, it's Back to the Barbell, to number 2. The reason I'm calling it this series, it's kind of clever in my opinion. I'm returning back to barbell lifts, but it's also a 2-day-a-week program, and it's back focused. So I'm gonna have, as you can see, I'm pushing all the way to pretty much failure here. I'm doing RP 10. I'm doing lat prayers as my first exercise, and then I'm doing close grip lat pull downs here to really put a huge stretch on my lats. The closer your grip is, the more it'll pull your lats up and away from you. I'm trying to stay super vertical and really make this a lat focused movement, as the name implies, but a lot of us lean back and kind of have our elbows out. That will put a lot more work on different parts of your back as opposed to just your lats. These feel really nice. I'm getting better, as you'll see throughout this week, and then into next week with staying vertical and getting a nice stretch. And my third movement is a flexion row, a cable flexion row, which is, if you've never seen one before, you kind of, as you can see, setting up is very intense, but you sit way far back, straighten your legs out, and reach all the way down as far as you can manage. And I almost touch the cables, the weight stack. I actually might have to back up further once I get more flexible. I would have to put like blocks or something on the pad, which could get dicey. But these are one of my favorite back movements. If you've never tried them, you really should. It's a total back builder. It's not so lat focused like a traditional row. There's a lot of movement in your torso. And then this was kind of a random what's it called, like a arm and shoulder day that I did on a Tuesday. This I'm not going to be doing every week, but my wife wanted to do some cardio. I set the cables a lot higher than I did in my last block, and it put a really nice stretch on my biceps. So I'm curling almost like in a fly position. So I didn't tuck my elbows down at my sides. Same thing with my raises here. It's put a really nice stretch. It makes the top super easy and the bottom much harder, which is exactly what I'm looking for with this length and bias training that I've been doing. This is cool. Like I said, I won't have a lot of these days in, but I did 3 sets here of everything. Took them all the way to RPE 10, so this is plenty of work. So I had those 2, and then I have these triceps extensions. These were hard for me to figure out. As the workout progressed, I got a lot better with my elbow positioning. It looked more like this. As you can see, it's very tough at the bottom, not too hard at the top. Stabilization is quite an issue here though, so I really don't think this is something I would do regularly. I just wanted to be efficient and not have to move the bench at all. All I had to do was move the cables, and as you see, I didn't use versas on my shoulder raises, which is not normal. Or I didn't use cuffs. I normally would use cuffs, but I really wanted to be efficient. Bumped it up to 295 for the set of 6 at the end of the week. I didn't really lay out the rep schemes, but I have my deadlift, pause, sumos at 6 to 8 RPE. I want to do a range there, so I don't have to be so like strict. These are much better. This is probably the strongest my deadlift has felt. My best set I've done. As you can see, good lower back position, mid and upper back rounded but stable, so I'm not really too worried about it. But yeah, my lower back looks perfect. Solid lockout. A little bit of a hiccup at my quads, but not too bad. So yeah, 6 to 8 there of the pause, and then these close grips I bumped up to 140 at the end of the week. Same thing. It's I think it's a set of, no, these are 5s. I'm doing 5s at 6 to 8, but I like the RPE range. That way on my days where I feel good, I'll just kind of take it easy and hit on RP, or go hard and hit RP 8, and on the days where it's, I don't feel so hot, I'll just go to like RP 6 or 7. Looking to add weight like at least every week. I'll probably hit the same weight two workouts in a row if I have to, and then as soon as I'm feeling good, I'm gonna try and bump it up. No rush though. I just want to get back into the lifts easily here. So here I'm trying to get my chest down a little bit more than I had at the beginning of the week, but I'm still having an issue with that. When I take my brace, I'm really good at cueing ribs down for other people, but since I was doing so much strict upright quad focused squat work, it's been really difficult for me to really, as you see, bring my chest down. It's better, but this still felt a little heavier than I'd like. 205 is really good though. I was doing that for traditional high bar, non-tempo. So that, I think 225 was the highest I was doing for 5. So this is great. It's possible I was doing like 245, but I think that's as high as I've ever went. So I'm expecting to be pushing 2 plates at tempo very soon before I hang these up. And then, as you can see, flexion rows. You can see, if you've never done these, it is a back builder from hell. Your lower back gets involved, mid back, lats, everything. I couldn't recommend these more for people who've never tried them if you've done more of a traditional row. And then, like I said, these are just lat, lat, lat. You feel almost nothing else in your back here. If you've never tried a close grip with a really long stretch like this, you really should. That's going to be it for the workout, though. I just got this set of lat prayers. Please like if you did enjoy, comment something down below, subscribe if you're new, and my social media links are in the description. We'll see you guys next time.